The world watched in early 2020 as a pandemic swept across the globe. It brought fear, uncertainty, and unprecedented disruption. Amidst this chaos, a new phrase emerged: the Great Reset. This concept, introduced in June 2020 by Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum, proposed a fundamental reshaping of our global systems. The COVID-19 pandemic, according to Schwab and other proponents, presented a unique opportunity to rebuild. They argued that our existing economic and social structures were no longer sustainable. The Great Reset aimed to address these issues head-on. The Great Reset quickly became a topic of intense debate. Supporters saw it as a chance to create a more equitable and sustainable world. Critics, however, voiced concerns about the potential for increased control and diminished individual liberties. This essay will delve into the complexities of the Great Reset. We will examine its objectives, explore the arguments for and against it, and consider its potential impact on the future. The Great Reset is not merely an academic theory. It is a call to action that has resonated with powerful figures in government, business, and international organizations. Understanding this concept is crucial for navigating the complex changes we are likely to witness in the coming years. The decisions made in the name of the Great Reset will have far-reaching consequences, shaping the world we leave to future generations. At the heart of the Great Reset lies a vision of a more just and sustainable world. Proponents argue that our current systems have led to widespread inequality, environmental degradation, and social unrest. The Great Reset, they believe, offers a path to address these pressing issues. One of its central pillars is the concept of stakeholder capitalism. This model moves beyond a narrow focus on shareholder profit. It emphasizes the importance of considering the interests of all stakeholders. These stakeholders include employees, customers, suppliers, local communities, and the environment. Inclusivity is another key objective of the Great Reset. Supporters envision a world where everyone has equal opportunities to thrive, regardless of background or circumstance. They believe that by addressing systemic inequalities, we can create a fairer and more just society for all. Resilience is the third core principle of the Great Reset. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed the fragility of our interconnected world. The Great Reset aims to build more robust and adaptable systems. These systems will help us better withstand future shocks, whether they be pandemics, climate change, or other global challenges. The proponents of the Great Reset believe that achieving these ambitious goals requires a fundamental shift in our thinking and our actions. They call for greater global cooperation, a renewed focus on long-term sustainability, and a commitment to social justice. While the Great Reset is presented as a solution to global challenges, it has also attracted significant criticism. Critics argue that the proposed solutions concentrate power in the hands of a select few. This concentration of power, they fear, could lead to increased control over resources, economies, and ultimately individual lives. The World Economic Forum, the main proponent of the Great Reset, is often viewed with suspicion. Critics point to its membership, which consists of some of the world's wealthiest individuals and most powerful corporations. They argue that these entities are more interested in advancing their own interests than in creating a more equitable world for everyone. The call for increased global governance also raises concerns about the erosion of national sovereignty. Critics fear that the Great Reset could lead to a world where unelected bureaucrats dictate policies that impact the lives of billions. This lack of democratic accountability, they argue, is a dangerous path that could ultimately undermine individual freedoms. Another concern is the potential for the Great Reset to exacerbate existing inequalities. Critics point out that the transition to a green economy, for example, could disproportionately impact developing countries. These countries rely heavily on fossil fuels for their economic growth. They argue that the Great Reset's focus on sustainability should not come at the expense of economic development and poverty reduction in the global south. The debate surrounding the Great Reset is complex and multifaceted. It's essential to approach this topic with a critical and discerning eye. A central pillar of the Great Reset is the transition to a green economy. Proponents argue that this shift is essential to combat climate change and create a more sustainable future. They envision a world powered by renewable energy where consumption is circular and waste is minimized. This transition, they believe, will create new jobs, stimulate innovation, and ultimately lead to a healthier planet for all. The green economy concept has gained significant traction in recent years. Governments around the world are investing heavily in renewable energy, sustainable infrastructure, and green technologies. Companies are increasingly incorporating sustainability into their business models. However, the transition to a green economy is not without its challenges. Critics argue that the costs of this transition will be borne disproportionately by the poorest and most vulnerable populations. They point to the rising costs of energy and the potential for job losses in traditional industries as evidence of these concerns. Furthermore, critics question the feasibility of a rapid and complete transition to renewable energy sources. They argue that current technologies are not yet capable of meeting the world's growing energy demands without significant disruptions. The debate over the green economy highlights the complexities inherent in the Great Reset. While the goal of a sustainable future is widely shared, the path to achieving it is fraught with challenges and potential unintended consequences. Careful consideration of both the benefits and risks is crucial for ensuring a just and equitable transition. Section 5. Technology's grip, progress or peril. Technology plays a central role in the Great Reset. Proponents envision a future where advancements in artificial intelligence, robotics and biotechnology revolutionize industries, enhance productivity and improve lives. They argue that these technologies have the potential to solve some of the world's most pressing problems, from climate change and disease to poverty and hunger. However, the increasing role of technology in the Great Reset also raises concerns about privacy, surveillance, and the potential for job displacement. Critics worry that the widespread adoption of technologies like facial recognition and data tracking could erode individual liberties and create a society where constant monitoring becomes the norm. The rise of digital currencies, another key aspect of the Great Reset, also sparks debate. Supporters argue that digital currencies offer greater financial inclusion, reduce transaction costs, and increase transparency. However, critics worry about the potential for increased government control over finances and the erosion of privacy. The role of technology in the Great Reset is complex and multifaceted. While technological advancements hold immense potential for good, they also carry significant risks. Striking a balance between harnessing the power of technology and safeguarding individual rights and freedoms is a crucial challenge in the years to come. Section 6. Conspiracy theories unraveling the narrative. The Great Reset has become fertile ground for conspiracy theories. These theories, often spread rapidly through social media, present a distorted and often alarmist view of the concept. Some of the most common conspiracy theories claim that the Great Reset is a plan by a powerful elite to enslave humanity, establish a one-world government, or depopulate the planet. These theories often tap into existing anxieties about globalization, technological advancements, and the concentration of power. They weave together disparate events, often taken out of context, to create a narrative that can be both compelling and deeply unsettling. It's important to approach these conspiracy theories with a healthy dose of skepticism. While it's true that the Great Reset does involve powerful individuals and organizations, and that some of their proposals could have significant societal impacts, it's crucial to distinguish between legitimate concerns and unfounded speculation. The spread of misinformation and disinformation surrounding the Great Reset highlights the importance of critical thinking and media literacy in the digital age. Section 7. A bold vision, Industry 4.0 and the future. Central to the Great Reset is the concept of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, often referred to as Industry 4.0. This revolution is characterized by the fusion of physical, digital, and biological technologies. It encompasses advancements in artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, 3D printing, genetic engineering, and quantum computing. Proponents of the Great Reset believe that Industry 4.0 has the potential to transform industries, boost productivity, and create new opportunities for economic growth. They envision a future where smart factories automate production processes, personalized medicine becomes the norm, and renewable energy powers our cities. The fourth industrial revolution also promises to reshape the nature of work itself. While some jobs will inevitably be displaced by automation, proponents argue that new jobs will emerge in fields like data science, software development, and renewable energy. They believe that the key to navigating this transition is to invest in education and training programs that equip workers with the skills they need to thrive in the rapidly evolving job market. Section 8. The price of progress, jobs, income, and ownership. The potential impact of the Great Reset on employment, income, and property ownership is a subject of intense debate. Critics argue that the transition to a green economy and the increasing automation of labor could lead to widespread job losses. They fear that this could result in increased inequality, social unrest, and a shrinking middle class. To address these concerns, some proponents of the Great Reset have proposed the implementation of a universal basic income, or UBI. UBI is a system where all citizens receive a regular, unconditional payment from the government, regardless of their employment status. Supporters argue that UBI would provide a safety net for those who lose their jobs due to automation or other economic disruptions. They believe it would also reduce poverty, improve health outcomes, and foster greater economic security. However, UBI is a controversial policy. Critics argue that it would be prohibitively expensive, discourage work, and create dependency on the government. They also worry that it would lead to higher taxes and stifle economic growth. Another contentious issue is the potential impact of the Great Reset on property ownership. Some proponents envision a future where access to goods and services is prioritized over individual ownership. They argue that this would reduce consumption, promote sustainability, and create a more equitable society. However, critics view this as an attack on private property rights, a fundamental pillar of capitalist societies. Section 9. A measured perspective. Economists weigh in. Economists hold differing views on the potential impact of the Great Reset. Some believe that the proposed changes could lead to a more sustainable and equitable economic system. They argue that investing in renewable energy, promoting circular economies, and addressing income inequality could stimulate innovation, create jobs, and lead to long-term economic growth. They also point to the potential benefits of increased global cooperation in areas like trade, technology, and climate change mitigation. However, other economists express concerns about the potential costs and unintended consequences of the Great Reset. They worry that the rapid implementation of sweeping changes could disrupt markets, stifle innovation, and lead to economic instability. They argue that a more gradual and measured approach is needed to ensure a smooth transition to a new economic paradigm. These economists also caution against government overreach and the potential for crony capitalism. They emphasize the importance of maintaining a level playing field for businesses, fostering competition, and protecting property rights. The role of central banks in the Great Reset is another area of concern for some economists. They worry that the increasing use of unconventional monetary policies, such as quantitative easing and negative interest rates, could lead to inflation, asset bubbles, and financial instability. They argue for a return to more traditional monetary policies that prioritize price stability and fiscal responsibility. Section 10. The unfolding future, navigating uncertainty. The Great Reset is not a preordained outcome, but rather a set of ideas, proposals, and potential pathways for the future. Whether these ideas will materialize as envisioned by their proponents or take on different forms remains to be seen. The world is a complex and dynamic system, and predicting the future with certainty is an impossible task. The Great Reset has sparked a global conversation about the future of our societies and our planet. It has forced us to confront uncomfortable truths about the shortcomings of our current systems and to grapple with complex questions about sustainability, equality, and the role of technology in our lives. This conversation, while often contentious, is essential. It is through open and honest dialogue that we can begin to envision and create a better future. The Great Reset, regardless of whether one embraces it or criticizes it, serves as a reminder that we are not passive bystanders in the unfolding story of the 21st century. We have the power to shape our collective future through our choices, our actions, and our engagement in the political process. It is up to each of us to stay informed, to think critically, and to participate in shaping a world that is more just, sustainable, and prosperous for all.